I teach primarily English students. I guess most of them are registered on a degree in English language and literature, and they come here with A-levels, so you expect them to be in their majority British. But I do have a number of Erasmus students joining my classes from year to year, and I do find that their contribution is quite valuable as well. Their background experience varies quite a lot depending on the kind of A-levels they did. So if I'm teaching English language students, they're likely to have done English language A-levels. But if I'm teaching English language and literature students, they haven't necessarily done an English language A-level, so I need to start introducing things from scratch. I mean, what I usually do with my first year undergraduate classes is I undertake a bit of a diagnostic test at the start just to work out where everyone's at, and do stress that I might be starting things from a rather low level, but feel free to build up as you go along. And if you want additional reading, additional exercises, if you feel that you're more capable to handle more complex material, then ask me and I'll supply these.
Use your intuition and just be sensitive to cultural diversities. Particularly in an American and the British system, political correctness and what is possible to do and what you can't do is very important. For instance, when it comes to office hours, I always leave my door open. That is, a rule that I don't deviate, both if I have male and female students. And I would encourage staff to be very, very careful when it comes to interaction with students. The best thing about the teaching at a good UK institution is the kind of feedback and the kind of enthusiasm you get from some of the students. Of course, that varies by class and by subject matter, but in general, much more than in Cairo, if I may make that comparison.
My best thing about teaching is that I can link my research with teaching. I am very excited about my research, and I can show that during the lectures and give some latest information to students and inspire them.
I remember the time I got on top of a table I stood on top of a table to get some students' attention, and they came back to me with a photo they took with a mobile phone and threatened to publish. That was quite, I don't think I'll ever forget that particular experience. Standing there and looking at huge amounts of students for the first time is quite scary. And I still remember the first time I had to stand in front of lots and lots of students. You have to know your stuff quite well. That's the first point. You need to be really, you need to be concentrating, and you need to be well prepared, know what you're going to say, and have some contingency plans, especially if you're dealing with smaller groups anyway. But it helps thinking of students as fellow human beings and trying to engage with them.
I remember when I first came, I just couldn't cope with the pace of teaching, because within 11 weeks, or at that time I think it was 12 weeks, we would cover 24 texts. And how would you do that? So, because Chinese people believe, or our educational tradition is to have a solid foundation. Only when did the student gain the solid foundation would you be able to build things up on top of it. It's true, but then it's not always true.
The best thing is, from my point of view, having someone walk into the classroom a bit confused and unsure about what's going on, and then at some point following whatever you've been trying to do, having them smile at you and sort of talking to you and showing that they've got it.
I think once you've worked in British academia, you can go anywhere as well. So if you were offered a job in British academia, I would say go for it.